Start by exploring what critical thinking really means. At its core, critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively and make a reasoned judgment. It involves evaluating sources, such as data, facts, observable phenomena, and research findings. Critical thinkers question ideas and assumptions rather than accepting them at face value. They seek to determine whether the ideas, arguments, and findings represent the entire picture, and are open to finding that they do not. This skill is essential in everyday life, from making decisions at work to solving problems at home. By understanding what critical thinking is, we lay the foundation for developing this valuable skill. Concept of critical thinking has deep roots in history. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle emphasized the importance of questioning and logical reasoning. Over centuries, this approach evolved, influencing education, science, and even daily decision-making. Today, critical thinking is recognized as a vital skill in both academic and professional settings. Understanding its origins helps us appreciate why it remains so relevant. By tracing its historical development, we see how critical thinking has shaped the way we approach problems and seek solutions. Critical thinking isn't just one skill, it's a combination of several important elements. These include analysis, evaluation, inference, explanation, and self-regulation. Analysis involves breaking down complex information into smaller parts. Evaluation means assessing the credibility and relevance of information. Inference is about drawing logical conclusions, while explanation involves clearly communicating your reasoning. Finally, self-regulation is the ability to reflect on your own beliefs and adjust them when necessary. Together, these elements form the backbone of effective critical thinking. Critical thinking is more than just an academic exercise, it's a crucial life skill. In a world filled with information, being able to distinguish between fact and opinion, or truth and misinformation, is essential. Critical thinking empowers us to make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and communicate our ideas clearly. Whether you're evaluating news stories, making a purchase, or planning your career, critical thinking helps you navigate complex situations with confidence. It's a skill that benefits every aspect of life. You might not realize it, but you use critical thinking every day. From deciding what to eat for breakfast to choosing the best route to work, you're constantly analyzing options and weighing outcomes. Even simple tasks like comparing prices at the store or reading product reviews require you to evaluate information and make informed choices. By recognizing these moments, you can start to strengthen your critical thinking skills in practical, everyday situations. The workplace, critical thinking is invaluable. It helps you solve problems, make strategic decisions, and communicate effectively with colleagues. Employers value employees who can think critically because they're more likely to come up with innovative solutions and avoid costly mistakes. Whether you're leading a team or working independently, applying critical thinking can set you apart and help you achieve your professional goals. Education is one of the primary arenas where critical thinking is developed and applied. Teachers encourage students to question assumptions, analyze arguments, and support their opinions with evidence. These skills are essential for academic success and lifelong learning. By fostering critical thinking in the classroom, educators prepare students to tackle real-world challenges with confidence and creativity. Despite its importance, there are several barriers that can hinder critical thinking. These include cognitive biases, emotional influences, and social pressures. Sometimes we let our personal beliefs or feelings cloud our judgment. Other times, we might go along with the crowd instead of thinking independently. Recognizing these barriers is the first step toward overcoming them and becoming a more effective critical thinker. Cognitive biases are mental shortcuts that can lead us to make errors in judgment. Examples include confirmation bias, where we favor information that supports our existing beliefs, and availability bias, where we rely on immediate examples that come to mind. These biases can prevent us from seeing the full picture and making objective decisions. By being aware of cognitive biases, we can take steps to minimize their impact on our thinking. Emotions play a powerful role in how we think and make decisions. Sometimes, strong feelings like fear, anger, or excitement can cloud our judgment and lead us to make impulsive choices. Critical thinking requires us to recognize when our emotions are influencing our decisions and to pause before reacting. By managing our emotions, we can think more clearly and make better choices. Social pressures can also impact our ability to think critically. We might feel compelled to agree with others even when we have doubts. This is known as groupthink, and it can lead to poor decisions. Critical thinkers are willing to voice their opinions and challenge the status quo even when it's uncomfortable. By standing up for what we believe, we strengthen our critical thinking skills and encourage others to do the same. Critical thinking is a process that involves several key steps. First, identify the problem or question. Next, gather relevant information and evaluate its credibility. Then analyze the information, consider alternative viewpoints, and draw conclusions based on evidence. Finally, reflect on the outcome and adjust your thinking if necessary. Following these steps helps ensure that your decisions are well-informed and logical. First step in critical thinking is to clearly define the problem or question at hand. This means being specific about what you're trying to solve or understand. A well-defined problem sets the stage for effective analysis and decision-making. Take time to clarify your goals and what you hope to achieve before moving forward. Once you've identified the problem, the next step is to gather relevant information. This might involve researching facts, consulting experts, or reviewing data. The goal is to collect enough evidence to make an informed decision. Be sure to consider multiple sources and perspectives to avoid bias and ensure a thorough understanding. Not all information is created equal. Critical thinkers assess the credibility, relevance, and accuracy of the information they gather. This means checking sources, looking for evidence, and being wary of misinformation. By carefully evaluating information, you can make decisions based on facts rather than assumptions or rumors. Analyzing arguments is a key part of critical thinking. This involves breaking down complex ideas into their components and examining the logic behind them. Look for evidence that supports or contradicts the argument and consider whether the reasoning is sound. By analyzing arguments, you can better understand different perspectives and make more informed decisions. Critical thinkers don't settle for the first solution that comes to mind. Instead, they consider alternative viewpoints and solutions. This means being open to new ideas and willing to challenge your own assumptions. By exploring different options, you increase your chances of finding the best possible solution. After analyzing information and considering alternatives, it's time to draw conclusions. This step involves synthesizing what you've learned and making a decision based on evidence. Be sure to review your reasoning and check for any biases that might have influenced your judgment. A well-supported conclusion is the hallmark of strong critical thinking. Reflection is an often overlooked part of critical thinking. After making a decision, take time to evaluate the outcome. Did things turn out as expected? What could you have done differently? Reflecting on your decisions helps you learn from experience and improve your critical thinking skills over time. Self-regulation means monitoring and adjusting your own thinking processes. It involves being aware of your biases, questioning your assumptions, and being willing to change your mind when presented with new evidence. Self-regulation is essential for continuous improvement and growth as a critical thinker. Critical thinking is a skill that can be developed with practice. Start by asking questions, seeking evidence, and challenging assumptions in your daily life. Engage in activities that require analysis and problem-solving, such as puzzles or debates. Over time, you'll become more confident in your ability to think critically and make sound decisions. One of the most important aspects of critical thinking is asking the right questions. Instead of accepting information at face value, dig deeper by asking who, what, where, when, why, and how. These questions help you uncover hidden assumptions and get to the heart of the matter. The more curious you are, the better your critical thinking will become. Critical thinkers rely on evidence to support their conclusions. This means looking for data, facts, and reliable sources before making a decision. Don't be afraid to challenge information that lacks evidence or seems questionable. By seeking evidence, you ensure that your decisions are grounded in reality. Assumptions can limit our thinking and lead to errors in judgment. Critical thinkers make a habit of questioning their own assumptions and those of others. By challenging assumptions, you open yourself up to new perspectives and possibilities. This habit is key to developing a flexible and open-minded approach to problem solving. Problem solving is at the heart of critical thinking. Practice by tackling real-world problems, whether at work, school, or home. Break down the problem, consider different solutions, and evaluate the outcomes. The more you practice, the more skilled you'll become at thinking critically and finding effective solutions. Debate is a powerful tool for developing critical thinking. By engaging in respectful discussions with others, you learn to defend your ideas, consider opposing viewpoints, and refine your arguments. Debate encourages you to think on your feet and adapt your reasoning in real time. Mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. When things don't go as planned, take time to reflect on what happened and why. Analyze your decision-making process and identify areas for improvement. By learning from your mistakes, you become a more resilient and effective critical thinker. Open-mindedness is essential for critical thinking. It means being willing to consider new ideas and change your mind when presented with compelling evidence. Open-minded people are better able to adapt to new situations and find creative solutions to problems. Curiosity drives critical thinking. When you're curious, you're motivated to ask questions, seek answers, and explore new ideas. Cultivating curiosity helps you stay engaged and open to learning, which in turn strengthens your critical thinking skills. Critical thinking and creativity go hand in hand. While critical thinking helps you evaluate ideas logically, creativity allows you to generate new and innovative solutions. By combining these skills, you can approach problems from different angles and come up with unique answers. In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with information from various media sources. Critical thinking helps you evaluate the credibility of news stories, social media posts, and advertisements. By questioning sources and looking for evidence, you can avoid falling for misinformation and make more informed decisions. Technology has made information more accessible than ever, but it also presents new challenges. Critical thinking is essential for navigating the digital world, from evaluating online sources to protecting your privacy. By applying critical thinking to technology, you can make smarter choices and stay safe online. Ethical decision-making is a key part of critical thinking. It involves considering the impact of your choices on others and weighing moral principles. Critical thinkers strive to make decisions that are not only logical but also ethical, taking into account fairness, honesty, and responsibility. Science relies heavily on critical thinking. Scientists use observation, experimentation, and analysis to test hypotheses and draw conclusions. Critical thinking ensures that scientific findings are based on evidence and logical reasoning, rather than assumptions or biases. Critical thinking isn't just for academics or professionals, it's also important in personal relationships. It helps you communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts, and understand different perspectives. By applying critical thinking to your interactions, you can build stronger, healthier relationships. Teaching critical thinking is an important responsibility for educators and parents. Encourage children to ask questions, think independently, and support their ideas with evidence. By modeling critical thinking and providing opportunities for practice, you help the next generation develop this essential skill. Leaders who think critically are better equipped to make sound decisions, inspire their teams, and navigate challenges. Critical thinking helps leaders evaluate risks, anticipate consequences, and adapt to changing circumstances. By fostering a culture of critical thinking, leaders can drive innovation and success. Every critical thinker faces obstacles from personal biases to external pressures. The key is to stay persistent and keep practicing your skills. Remember that critical thinking is a journey, not a destination. With time and effort, you can overcome challenges and continue to grow. Critical thinking offers numerous benefits, including better decision-making, improved problem-solving, and stronger communication skills. It helps you navigate complex situations, avoid mistakes, and achieve your goals. By developing your critical thinking abilities, you set yourself up for success in all areas of life. There are many myths about critical thinking. Some people believe it's only for intellectuals or that it means being overly critical. In reality, critical thinking is a skill anyone can develop, and it's about constructive analysis, not negativity. Dispelling these myths helps more people embrace and benefit from critical thinking. Critical thinking is a cornerstone of lifelong learning. It encourages you to stay curious, seek new knowledge, and adapt to change. By making critical thinking a habit, you'll be better prepared to learn and grow throughout your life. As the world becomes more complex, critical thinking will only become more important. From navigating new technologies to addressing global challenges, the ability to think critically will be essential for success. By investing in your critical thinking skills now, you'll be ready to face whatever the future holds. Let's recap what we've learned about critical thinking. It's the ability to analyze information, evaluate arguments, and make reasoned decisions. Critical thinking involves questioning assumptions, seeking evidence, and reflecting on outcomes. By developing these skills, you can improve your decision-making and problem-solving abilities in every area of life. Now that you understand the basics of critical thinking, it's time to put these skills into practice. Start by applying what you've learned in your daily life, at work, and in your relationships. Remember, critical thinking is a journey. Keep learning, stay curious, and never stop questioning. Critical thinking is a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of modern life. By developing your ability to analyze, evaluate, and reason, you can make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and achieve your goals. Keep practicing, stay open-minded, and embrace the journey of lifelong learning.